All right. Hey, fellas. How are you doing? Sorry I can't be there. And I've said that a million times, but I really am. So we'll see you the next meeting. Wanted to just give you a quick review of my material. Most importantly, the VTO. If you got that up there in front of you, there's 2 pages. You can read through. I'm not going to read this thing to you, but basically, a lot of this hasn't changed. Our core values have been trust, generosity, and loyalty for a long time, since we put them together originally, probably 8 years ago. And so you can see the niche and the 10-year target, which is really not a 10-year target. We're looking at more like the at the December 31st, 2025. So just so you understand kind of where we come from with this and have for a long time, as we look at a point in time about 5 years out, and we wrote this back in 2019 for 2025, and it basically, if you'll look in the documents I sent out, there's a vision and value statement that goes through all the details, and it says on December 31st, 2025, this is what we'll look like, this is what it will be like, who we will be, what everything, all the details are in there, including all down to the size of the office. And so we've pretty much structured everything around that. Now we'll update that going into 2024. We'll forecast out to 2030, December 31st, et cetera, et cetera. So just so you know, we don't have really a 10-year target. We have the December 31st, 2025 target. And that's basically $4.5 million, give or take, about 4,000 inspections. AJS is over 1,000, 1,125, and profits have run in about 20% at about almost $900,000 in profit. And basically we keep talking about the measurement process and how we measure it and the measurables. We're probably a little, but we measure everything, and we have monthly KPI reports that come out, that are generated now automatically almost for us, and they cover all the financials. They even get into the quality score, agent teams, who's doing what numbers we have for all of our focus teams and agents out there. As far as the 3-year picture, looking out to 2025, key positions filled basically. I'm the general manager. You can look at the org chart or the resource chart. I'm currently general manager. That position will be filled hopefully by the end of next year. Ed will be taking over that position. Operations director may or may not be filled. Ed may be dual spot for the next year or two on that, depending on who steps up into that position. But eventually, by 2025, there will be an operations director in there. We have to be for the size we're going to be. And then sales and marketing director, that's going to take over what I'm currently doing as that in that role. And then we've got a new position we've created just recently. We tossed around different ideas for names, and a rose by any other name. Lead inspector is one, but we decided to go with brand manager because it's really a plug and play thing, and there's a lot of reasons behind the idea of a brand manager. It's not typical what you'd find in brand manager at Procter and Gamble, but it's managing our brand delivery, and it's on the ops side, it's on the sales side, and it's also on the customer care side. So that's important that we've got those team members, all positions filled by December 31st, 2025. And it's important because that way I'm not involved much anymore. And my goal is to be as involved as little as possible in the day-to-day operations of the business, so I can go do other things, fun stuff, and some other business ventures and things. So we'll have 18 home inspectors. We'll have 4 full-time and 2 part-time customer care reps. And we're going to have about a 2,500 square foot office. It's going to have southern exposure, so we get a lot of good light. And that may be a building that we end up ultimately owning and leasing back, or I'll lease back to the company. From the VTO side of it, that 1-year plan for next year, we're looking at about $1.5 million, almost $1.6 million in sales, a volume of a little under 2,000 inspections, and profit at about 20% again. As far as the goals for the year, we've broken them up into operations and sales. You've got operations. We've got 2 new inspectors that'll be filled, and that'll be in January. And you can see that in the rocks side of it for the first quarter. We are going to hire an environmental tech. Thank you to you guys for coming up with that term and that name and that idea. That's really, really important, Phil, for us to give our guys some relief on picking up radon detectors, doing mold tests, and probably a multitude of other things. Two brand managers. One is already considered a lead inspector, or that's his title. He's going to be moved over into that brand manager spot. He handles quality and a few other things, training, but he's going to actually take some other stuff. We've also got another guy that we're talking to now that's going to take that. So good stuff all the way around on the brand manager side. Customer care admin manager filled, and again, we've already got a person in line to take that spot. One thing on the added services this year that we're going to launch is lead testing. Last year we had really dug into, and we're going to make it big and set the world on fire with chimney inspections. That pun was totally unintended, but hey, it's kind of works. But we're going to get the lead out next year. Actually, we're going to actually do lead testing and go into that a little deeper. We're in Philadelphia. There's a lot of old paint in this place, and it's becoming more and more of a public issue. And so I think there's opportunity. Ed actually brought this to the forefront, and so we're going to ramp up and figure out what it takes to be licensed, if it will, to do lead testing, not remediation, lead testing, and more of it. So right now we just farm it out when people ask about it. And then a few sales things. Going to get a brand manager in. We're either going to hire from the outside or promote one of our people into a brand manager position in sales. And then really focus more and get our funnel back running, which we've got a sales funnel. It's not been operating at all for the last year or so, and that's something we want to get back on track. And then also our electronic marketing sucks, and we've got to get that back up to speed. So those are the big things for the 1-year plan. The quarterly rocks you can read through. They basically just say, let's get started on each of these things, and in some cases, let's finish them. So there's more details behind each of these rocks for the first quarter, and through the next 2 months or month and a half, Ed and I will really hang some specific actions on these, because there's still rocks, which says we're going to do something, but when and what are we going to do? That we'll put dates around that and have that actually on paper lined out so that we can really follow the script through the first quarter. Big things with us on the issues side of it is waiving inspections. I talked to a non-real estate agent this past week, the guy that runs the local Bucks County Real Producers magazine. In our case, it's Bucks County. And we were talking about waived inspections, and his take is about 60% of transactions have had waived inspections in our area. Scary as hell to hear that number. At the same time, and especially from somebody who isn't a real estate agent or isn't associated with an inspection company, and he was really surprised that we actually aren't dying on the vine, because he knows a number of inspection companies that are, and in fact a couple of his other advertisers, which we've advertised with him in the last year, a couple of his other inspection advertisers are going out of business and or not advertising any longer. So interesting. Kudos to our team for not shrinking 60%, which is what the market shrunk this year for us. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, hiring is just a total pain, and we all know that. Nothing to talk about there. We've got to figure out a better way to do that in these times. And then just delivering our brand promise across everything. We really have had a shortage of sales support in our business, and that's being addressed in the 1-year plan and the rocks. Admin is outsourced. Right now it's outsourced. We're gonna bring that back in over the course of the year. It's about a $25,000 a year expense. But on the plus side, we aren't paying a full-time person to do it. So that's good. So we're saving a little bit, but over the time, we're going to bring that back inside. And then just adding these management layers and spreading some of the work that is done, who's responsible for it, and cross-training people so that if somebody bails on us, we aren't left in the lurch at all. So, and then just process checks and balances. We've got processes for everything, down to how to tie our shoes. And but we got to make sure they get done and done consistently, and that's management. It's not even leadership; it's management. So it's important. The rest of this, guys, I'll let you read through and look through it at your leisure if you want. The resource chart is finished. Thank you for giving me feedback last time we met about how I had this vertical resource chart, and it didn't occur to me till you brought it up. So I unverticalized it. Is that a word? And basically said, guys, here's how this structure will look in 20 foot 25. So remember, this thing right here is 2025. This is what it looks like. And but not necessarily everybody's name who is in a box is going to be there. And in fact, general manager will be Ed, if all goes well and the creek don't rise. And director of operations will be a draft choice to be named later. So enjoy that. I'd love your questions. Obviously, send them to me, email them to me. And then the rest of this stuff is just stuff I sent in. So, guys, good luck with the meeting. If you have any questions, send them to me in an email. I'm going to be free Monday and Tuesday. My sis is going to be hanging out here at the house with me, but I'm going to have time. I can jump on a call and talk with you guys. Good luck. Thanks for tuning into this video, and it's 11 minutes, and you've probably had enough of me. See y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.